and connection information. For customers requesting a wheelchair on arrival, we will advise you upon reaching the gate when assistance is available to disembark the aircraft. You may receive an email asking you to share your feedback. We value and use your responses to improve your future travel experience.
So I'm back. I was gone for a total of 23 days. So garden is definitely not doing super well. I'm a bit disappointed that some things that had started to really seem like they were going to take off clearly got eaten by the slugs. All the carrots in both spots are gone. All the melons are gone. The watermelons either never germinated or they were germinated and then eaten. The squash that had started to germinate were eaten. The corn barely germinated. It was beginning to germinate when I left, and there may be one or two more in addition to what germinated before I left. The ferns are taking over the big bed. Not taking over, but there's a lot of them. Yeah, so just not quite what I was hoping for. Oh, my Saskatoon bush has been really eaten back by something. It could be slugs, it could be something else. Hopefully that will be okay over winter, and then next year it'll be fine again. Definitely won't be getting anything off of it. All the leaves have been stripped off, so it's definitely not doing well. Chamomile bloomed and is now dying back since I've been gone. Raspberries have barely grown since I've been gone. A lot of things have grown since I've been gone, but a lot of things have not grown much. Not as much as I was expecting for being gone so long. I do have pretty full red currants, which is exciting. I'm getting some tomatoes, which is great. It's still early July, so by the end of the month I'll probably have quite a lot of tomatoes. My ground cherries have taken off. At least the ones that I bought have taken off. The ones that I started from seed got eaten back time and again by slugs, so they're quite small. They do have some blooms. Maybe they will fruit, I'm not sure. Herbs are doing well, which is good. I do have a nice sized lemon trying to grow on one of the lemon trees. Hopefully that will keep going that direction. It's pretty gray today. It's not really cold, it's pretty warm, but it's gray. It was supposed to rain yesterday when I got home, but it didn't, so maybe it will today. I think regardless of that, I'm probably going to water soon. Everything's pretty dry right now. There was definitely some rain while I was gone, but it's still fairly dry out here. So I do want to get some watering in, and then if it rains, it's just some extra water for them. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad today to see some of the destruction. There's only 2 basil plants left. They got all the basil that I had originally started from seed, and I bought a bunch more basil. And yeah, there's 1 green basil and 1 purple basil left from all of those. So next year I'm gonna have to, next year hopefully I'll have the greenhouse set up, and some of the stuff that really got eaten outside, I'll need to move inside probably, to grow someplace where I can be sure that the pests are not going to be able to get to. I'm also still hoping to be able to get a high tunnel for fall and winter growing season and extend some green growing into, next season. Yeah, this was an experimental year, and obviously having to be gone so long for work didn't help things. I wasn't here to tend it for the last month. I had that couple week long trip before that, and I probably have another longer trip too before the end of the summer. So just didn't really get to do everything I was hoping to be able to do this first year. It has been nice to see sort of what to expect as far as getting started. I think I'll probably start some things earlier than I did this year, next spring. I know you shouldn't start things too early, but I do feel like because I'm up in the mountains, starting it earlier, giving it some more time to get big before I put it outside. Especially because I will have the greenhouse and hopefully a high tunnel for next year. I just think it'll help if things are more established. I think the slugs are voracious, and I'm not sure that things being more established will really help against them. But just some other, I think things will just have an easier time and they'll get going more quickly. And hopefully next year I'll be here to continually deal with the slugs so that they don't have free reign for so much time at a time, and I can sort of keep them under control. I was told by the nursery that it's a really bad year for slugs, so it could be that next year is just not as bad either. Things really change from year to year. Every year is different. Every time you try to grow something, it goes differently and you experience different things, and that's how you learn. And again, this being a new spot for me as well. Sorry, there's a plane going over. Yeah, it didn't go... Sorry, it's flying fairly well. It didn't go the way I would have hoped for the first year. I'm not... I find out this week about my travel schedule for work, and if it makes sense to get more squash established before I can leave, I may try to restart some winter squash so that I have some storage. I'll be able to store potatoes. They're not looking great. I think that they didn't get enough water, but they're gonna get some water. I think they'll pop back, and also they're gonna continue to grow under the dirt anyway. So I'm not too worried about that, so I will have some stuff to store there. I do have some beans left, so hopefully those will continue to grow and I'll get a harvest from the beans, but I'm not going to have nearly as much to store this year as I was hoping. All my cucumbers, all my squash, all my anyway, a lot of things are gone that I was really hoping to have for storing over winter, so I'm just going to have to sort of pivot that. I will say my quinoa plant is looking pretty good, so I'm excited to see how that goes and how that kind of develops. I only ended up with one, the others got eaten, but again, I think that's one of the ones I've learned to start quite a bit earlier so that it can be quite a bit bigger before I put it outside. So I've kept good records about when I started things. So next year I'll be able to kind of look back at that and decide, okay, I need to start X, Y, and Z quite a bit earlier so that it can get bigger before I put it out. Hoping that the few pepper plants that are left will thrive. There's not very many and they're not very big. They keep getting eaten back by the slugs. So I'm hoping that those can continue to grow. What I'm going to be doing for the rest of the morning is getting all of the ferns and weeds pulled out, and then I'm going to go ahead and water everything. I'll be using some weed tea mixed in with the water so that they get a really refreshing, fertilizing, lots of extra nutrients, and we'll see how it goes. Really keeping my fingers crossed that this little lemon makes it. You can see its buddy right up here got knocked off. So I haven't been here to trim this back and be eating it, but it's quite bitter now because of the heat. So it's done. You just wouldn't, I tasted it. You just really wouldn't want to eat a salad with this anymore. Unfortunately, aren't quite ready, but they're looking a lot better than last time I checked. They'll get a bit bigger than this. These are all golden beets. Yeah, so I just like to check every once in a while. There's a bunch over there. So it doesn't hurt to pull one out every once in a while. Yep, delicious. If you don't normally like beets,